Hi, welcome to Newscats. I'm Ron DeParmesan. On September 22, 2024, the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah took a dramatic turn. Hezbollah executed a massive attack against northern Israel, firing over 140 rockets and drones. This operation came after an earlier Israeli airstrike that killed key Hezbollah commanders, including Ibrahim Akil. The Israeli Defense Forces, commonly known as the IDF, wasted no time in issuing air raid alerts across various cities, including Haifa and the Jezreel Valley. While many rockets were intercepted, at least 6 civilians suffered injuries, with a 76-year-old man and a 16-year-old girl among the injured. These numbers raise serious concerns about civilian safety amid ongoing hostilities. After the initial assault, the situation became chaotic as several rockets struck populated areas in Israel. Local emergency services sprang into action. Magen David Adom, Israel's National Emergency Medical Service, deployed an extensive response team to treat the injured. Ambulances ferried victims to hospitals, where they received treatment for shrapnel injuries and other trauma. Civilians, shaken by the air raid sirens, rushed to safety as panic swept through the streets. Some people even suffered injuries in the confusion as they tried to escape. It's a harsh reminder of the ever-present dangers faced by those living near the Lebanese border, where life can turn chaotic in mere moments. On the retaliatory front, the IDF confirmed it launched counterstrikes targeting Hezbollah's positions in Lebanon. The goal was straightforward: dismantle the infrastructure supporting the rocket assaults. This pattern of retaliation has been a hallmark of the Israel-Hezbollah dynamic for years. Each military action invokes a stronger response, further fueling this cyclical violence deeply rooted in decades of conflict. The recent exchanges exemplify the volatility of this situation, where one side's attack prompts immediate reciprocation from the other. Such aggressions disrupt any semblance of peace, highlighting the fragility of security in the region. Hezbollah justified their aggressive actions as a direct response to Israeli attacks, framing their rocket barrage as a defensive measure. They argue that the Israeli airstrikes resulting in the deaths of their commanders amount to acts of war. According to Hezbollah, these measures are vital to protect Lebanon's sovereignty against what they perceive as an oppressive force. Their narrative casts them as defenders, suggesting that they must respond to threats, which resonates with their supporters back home. In stark contrast, the Israeli government offers a different perspective. They regard their military operations as essential to securing national safety. The IDF claims to have successfully taken out over 400 rocket launchers in their recent operations, viewing these preemptive strikes as necessary for deterring further attacks. This tug of war demonstrates how both parties interpret the same events through entirely different lenses, complicating the already challenging road to resolution. As tensions escalate, the urgent need for clear dialogue becomes evident. The historical context of this conflict is crucial in understanding the present violence. Founded during the Lebanese Civil War in 1982, Hezbollah emerged as both a military and political force. They have fostered significant ties within Lebanese politics and have been a pivotal actor in regional dynamics, lending support to Palestinian groups. Today, it's estimated that Hezbollah has amassed around 150,000 rockets. This extensive arsenal poses a significant threat to Israel, raising the risks involved in any military engagement. The humanitarian consequences of the ongoing violence in this region continue to multiply. Civilians in both Israel and Lebanon are feeling the impact of this escalating conflict. Reports reveal growing fears among families, particularly children who are constantly exposed to air raid sirens and the threat of rocket attacks. Emergency services are overwhelmed during these crises. The constant tension raises serious questions about how prepared each side is to deal with prolonged conflict, increasing the likelihood of civilian casualties with each exchange of fire. Organizations working on the ground are stretched thin, trying to respond to the immediate needs of people caught in the crossfire. As the smoke from these latest confrontations begins to clear, the geopolitical implications are becoming apparent. The escalation not only affects Israel and Hezbollah, but also has the potential to pull in regional players such as Iran. Iran has been a key ally of Hezbollah, offering military support and resources that shape their strategic calculations. Analysts fear that this conflict could spiral into something much larger, with broader consequences for Middle Eastern stability. The urgency for diplomatic solutions is more pressing than ever, as this dangerous game of retaliation continues. Meow. Let's take a breath here and remember that these aren't just numbers. Each rocket impacts real people, families struggling for normalcy amidst an extraordinary crisis. Observers around the world are watching closely as events unfold. What do you think it would take for both sides to find common ground? Together, we can only hope for dialogue that paves a way for peace instead of ongoing conflict. As we reflect on the events of September 22nd, it becomes clear that the cycle of violence between Israel and Hezbollah must be monitored closely. The entrenched positions of both sides suggest that unless some meaningful negotiations can occur, we might see further escalations. So let's keep our eyes peeled for developments, and if you found this report informative, don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to continue following the unfolding story of the Middle East. We'll return shortly with more updates. I'm Ron de Parmesan, and this has been another Newscat special report. Meow.